All right, I'm here at the Outsell booth. This is Kyle with ASOTU. I'm with Mike Wethington, founder and CEO of Outsell, and we're really excited just to share a little bit about what they're doing in the market. Mike, thanks for joining me today.
It's awesome to have you here at the Outsell booth.
I'm telling you what, the energy just around your booth, you're kind of right as you come up the stairs into this second level, and you've got a really great spot. It's not way at the front, but I feel like it's the front of the second layer of how's the energy been the last couple of days?
It's been up. We're actually up, I think, about 40-50% at this point in time compared to last year. As far as traffic, we're having a lot of people come here. For those that can see, we have a Bloody Mary bar that looks pretty quiet. I'm sure it'll get busier later on today.
There you go. So, obviously NADA is a poignant kind of point in the sand and a marker, but there's a lot of business that has been done in the past and in the future. Walk back with me. Outsell's been around for quite some time. Give me like the three highlights over the time of your company of what you've seen as you've grown what is now a large organization serving a ton of dealers.
Well, I mean, I started 17 years ago, and the whole idea behind it was I saw what was happening with how people were engaging, companies were engaging consumers. And back in 2003 and 4, I mean, you could, at the early days of websites, is that you could have big brands like Patagonia that do a great job, and they would engage with you with great emails, great content. But you get into places like the automotive industry or real estate agents, and the websites at the local level were lousy, and the communications were even worse. And I thought there was an opportunity to consolidate all the data that you could potentially have about a customer, get it into a consolidated data warehouse, and then initially apply rules to figure out, if a person is at this point in their life cycle with a vehicle, you should be able to send them this type of communication. And we started there, and then as it's grown, 2015, we were the first in the industry to leverage AI and put it into the platform. And today, we have over 1,800 dealers. We actually, the cool part of what I love what we're doing, we actually are listening to 54 million unique consumers every day with our technology. And from that, we leverage artificial intelligence to automatically predict what that consumer needs, if any sort of a message, and then send it out through smart channels, from email to text to direct mail to social. And the fun part about it is that we can actually show dealers the engagement that a consumer's had, and that it leads to either a sale or a service order. And the return on investment is typically anywhere from 15 to 30 times the investment. And it's really clear on the attribution. And so that's the reason why we've grown to 1,800 dealers. Our customers, once they come on, our dealer clients, our dealer groups, the OEMs that we work with, they keep with us. It's over 91% retention rates, which is really good inside this industry. And the reason why is it's clear as to what we're doing, and our people are really good.
That's awesome. So one of the things that I know about, you said life cycle, you said the customer life cycle journey with their car. IHS Markit or Polk came out with some data last year just around loyalty, and loyalty not just to dealerships but to brands, where new car loyalty was under 30% and used car loyalty was in the tens to dealership loyalty. Leveraging a technology like this really speaks to that particular data point a lot. Where are you seeing this type of touch point and this type of mechanism really enhance the loyalty attached to a dealership?
I'm smiling because the question's great. It's, we have a ton of data. I mean, I was leveraging data before it was cool, right? And the amount of data that we have data. We've sent over 2 billion communications since 2016. We've had over 400 million actual engagements with consumers that have led to 23 million transactions on new or used units, and 450 million service orders. And from all that data, here's what we're finding, is that, just like you were talking about with retention, dealers who have this platform and their customers that are using the platform, they increase the retention to that dealership by 49% versus those that don't. And the other cool things that OEMs don't realize is that it also increases the OEM retention or repurchase by 27%. So it's real numbers.
Yeah. So leveraging scale, it sounds like, I mean, you just threw out a lot of M's in numbers, right? So leveraging scale is a big deal. And with the consolidation of the industry, we see a lot of larger dealer groups and customers that show up in multiple of their stores or on multiple of their sites. And it's a life cycle, not just for an individual dealership or an OEM. How are you leveraging data at larger groups to ensure that life cycle is managed in these consolidated companies?
Yeah, I mean, we're working with some of the leading groups in the country. One of our favorite innovative groups is Germain Automotive Group. And I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, we got together and John Melshenko, the COO of the organization, wanted to make sure he put in place their customer retention program across their 20 plus dealers. And they ended up with us, we ended up consolidating all of the data for all 20 stores related to all these consumers, and have created a series of dealer group communications that have increased sales by 10% plus at a group level because of the fact that, and it's really interesting, is you take a look at 40% of the communications were increasing, 40% of the people that never engaged with an email from the store were engaging, 40% more were engaging at the group level. And so, I mean, it's one of the hottest parts about what we're doing. Again, it's getting all of that data into a common place, in a data warehouse that you can then start to leverage technology to be able to put in place the artificial intelligence and determine if the consumer is doing this, you should send this type of a message, either from the store or from the group.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've been around the industry for quite some time, and you've seen the ups and downs and the flows, and there's hesitation but excitement going into 2023. But imagine you had 1,000 dealers just standing here, which you could probably see them at a distance. But imagine they were all focused on you, and you had the charge of encouraging them into 2023. What's the encouragement that you would lay out for them as they head back to their stores?
Boy, that's a big question. It goes back to one of the things I believe in, I always did, and when I started this 17 years ago, this industry was really focused on marketing around the vehicle, on the VIN. And I believe that you need to market around the customer and understanding the customer, where they are in their life and, what's happening within their household. So that's where creating a customer-centric point of view and making sure that you work with them through their life cycle with programs like this, it works. And in a time right now is where we're trying to figure out, interest rates are going up, are we in a recession, are we going into a recession? We just had a dealer group last night said Outsell is recession-proof. And it's actually true. I mean, in 2008, when we had the Great Recession, we grew. And in COVID, we grew very little in 2020, 2%. But now, I mean, we're growing over 20%, 25 to actually 27% in this last quarter because of the fact that, and the reason why is that dealers can see that this works. They can see individual consumers of what they've done, what I call the breadcrumbs of what they've been engaging with, and then see that they actually bought something and through DMS feeds say, hey, I made this amount of money based off of that.
So as you've grown and as you've gone through this time building things and always coming out with new elements and ways to serve dealers and customers, what are some of the things that you're innovating with right now that are really enabling dealers into this next year?
I flew down from Minneapolis, where we're based, on Delta, and the first thing that happened to me was when I got on the plane, the flight attendant said, Mr. Wethington, we're really happy about the fact that thank you for your business, you're a platinum member, and the fact that you're over 1 million miles, we really appreciate you. Well, guess what? We're coming out and announced here at the show, high customer value. For the first time ever in the automotive industry, we have the ability to predict the value of customer using artificial intelligence, both in sales and service. And what that is allowing us to do for our dealers now is to arm our dealers with the information as to which prospect or which customer should I be spending my time with? Who should I be treating, with a more kid glove approach and care about them more deeply? We've got it. I mean, and with it, it's pretty amazing. We've been working on this for over 2 years. And what we found over the last year of running the AI models on all the data that we work with, it's pretty cool. It's that luxury dealers, 80% of their profits are coming from 20% of their consumers. All right?
Unbelievable.
And so with mainline dealerships, it's like 70% is coming of their profits. Actually, 2/3 of their profits are coming from 30% of their customers. So for the first time ever, they're going to be able to know who those people are when we're engaging. You'll see us coming out with really cool content that's specifically to high customer value clients so that you can give them the type of experiences that they get at Ritz-Carlton or, Delta Airlines. Why not? Let's do it.
That's absolutely amazing, and I think it's taking some learning from outside of the industry and bringing it right in, and we are in need of that at all regards. Well, thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you.